Hey guys, this is Styler and welcome to another China smartphone review. In this video we are going to have a closer look at the beautiful Elephone S7 with 4GB RAM and 64GB storage. So let's start. The Elephone S7 is truly a beautiful device. At first glance it resembles the Samsung Galaxy S7, but to a much lower price. In this video I'm going to cover all the pros and cons. This phone is definitely not bad, but it is also not perfect. The backside is just made of plastic and not glass, as some may think, and it is unfortunately relatively easy to scratch. So I recommend to use the included clear case from day one. The phone is 8.3mm thin, and because of the metal frame it weighs about 175 grams, so it is not exactly the lightest phone in the pocket. In the bottom it has one microphone and one speaker with average sound quality, and instead of the new USB Type-C, this phone still just uses the normal micro USB, which some users still prefer. The clock on the lock screen looks a bit different, and I actually kind of like it. It's different than seen on other MediaTek China phones. On the front there are no capacitive buttons. We only find a physical home button, which also works as a fingerprint scanner or touch button. Just touch it shortly and it will wake and unlock. The accuracy is pretty good and it works for me like 9 out of 10 times. I didn't really experience any issues with the fingerprint scanner. So there are no menu or back buttons, but you can slide up like this to get some on-screen buttons. You can use the home button to go back if you just touch it once. If you touch it twice it would go back to home. Let me try it again. And if you click it down twice you activate the smart key that can be set up to start any app, here YouTube. And if you hold it down for a second the recent apps will be shown. The UI is smooth and fast, no lag whatsoever. It comes with a pre-installed flashlight app and also support for a FM radio. Here you now see the supported bands. This is the band mode that you can activate using the engineering mode. And important to say is that LTE band 20 is supported. And here in CPU set we see that it is using the MediaTek Helio X20 SoC, clocked at 2.1 GHz. It's running with Android 6.0 and it also comes with a lot of built-in sensors. Important here is for instance the gyroscope sensor, so it can work with VR apps and Google Cardboard. And let me just test it with the Google Cardboard app so you can see that it works just fine, fast and precise. There's also a built-in working compass. That one is also fast and good, as you can see here. Next up, let's check the viewing angles. The brightness and sharpness is good when you look straight at it. But when you tilt it, it does lose some sharpness, and that is because of the relative thick 2.5D curved front glass. But in normal use it is not really a huge problem, but you can see what I mean here. The single LED flash is what I would call average. Gives light, but that's also it. When you use the LED flash in the camera, it tends to overexpose it, at least when you are close to the objects. It is using the standard MediaTek camera app with support for picture-in-picture, slow motion and gestures. And here you see the picture-in-picture, where it also will activate the front camera. In the settings we don't find anything special, but I noticed that the electronic image stabilization currently doesn't work, at least not when I tried it out. But it will probably be fixed in the next wireless update. The autofocus works fine, it's fast and nice, as you can see here. And now to some camera samples, all taken on a cloudy day. What I have noticed is that the pictures are slightly blurry in the top edges. In the center and below, the sharpness seems okay. If future updates can change anything on that is currently unknown. Let's see. The front camera is what I would call average, fine for selfies. For samples in high resolution, please check the video description for a link to the original pictures. On the phone there is an app called TaskManager, something I haven't seen on previous Elephones, but here you can close background apps, see the installed apps and the used memory. App Locker is another standard app on the phone. Here you can lock certain apps with a special pattern, which provides personal security. Okay, so now let's test out USB on the go. And yes, here you see that it's found as an external USB storage. Let me try to start some music and plug in some Xiaomi Piston 3 headphones to the 3.5mm headphone jack. As you notice, first it doesn't really accept the headphones. But check this out. I noticed that if you then plug it out slightly and then in again, then the connection suddenly seems to be recognized and the headphones are connected. Kind of strange, but at least the headphones can then be used with the phone without any further problems. And now to a sound quality test of the right built-in loudspeaker. The quality is in my opinion average. The touch panel supports 5 points, which is okay, but the resolution seems a bit low. You can see that when you move the finger slowly, then it doesn't look completely smooth. And here a Vibrate test. The vibration is good and feels comfortable in the hand, but still it's not overwhelming. The notification LED is easy to see. It will turn blue while you have the charger connected. Unfortunately, I could not get it to work with missed calls or missed SMS. I hope that Elephone are going to fix that with a future update. So regarding the GPS, I have some mixed feelings about that because sometimes the lock and fix was fast while other times suddenly slow. The reception and signals are also not exactly super. They are okay, but I have seen better. And I did in fact also try to use the phone as navigation with Google Maps, but I had to stop because it wasn't usable at all for me. Sometimes it lost the signal and jumped around. I can't say if I'm just unlucky with my device or not, but for me this wasn't usable at all. The battery life is okay, but not fantastic. As you can see, I got below 5 hours with Geekbench 3. With light use it is okay for 1 day, but if you are a heavy user, then you will need to charge it through the day. Charging the phone was also average. With the included wall charger, 65% in 60 minutes or 97% in 90 minutes was possible. After 30 minutes of 3D gaming, the phone can get a little bit warm on the backside, so let me just check the temperature, what it says. So the main area is still below 40 degrees Celsius, only in the top it seems to be closer to the 40. And yes, here in one small spot it actually shows 40 degrees. Nothing wild, but enough to that it feels a bit warm. Let's also have a quick look inside the phone settings. In display we find support for clear motion. We have the LED notification settings and also the S-View window. The internal storage has totally 64 GB and the phone has 4 GB RAM. Inside security you can set up 5 fingerprints. And the phone is of course also multi-language. And then there's the shortcut button settings that activates an app when you double click the home button. In screen on gestures, you can activate 3-finger screenshot or 2-finger slide for volume. In navigation bar, you can use the home button for all the controls, or you can enable on-screen buttons. And last, we have the possibility to clear background apps automatically. And about phone, where you also see that it supports working wireless updates. So in the rest of the video I will show you info, try out different test apps and do various stuff with the phone. In this part I will not talk, but just turn up for the background music. My final pros and cons I will list in the end, so stay tuned if you want to know my conclusion. So now to my personal pros and cons. Remember that this is based on the first early firmware, so some of these things may be fixed or changed in the future. So that's it for the review. Please hit the like button if you liked the video, subscribe for more or check my channel. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.